Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to our beta version. If you are new here, of course, you are welcome to the channel. And if you are returning, thank you for coming back. I hope you find value in this video. Today, we are going to talk about why personal finance is personal. You know, we hear a lot about, personal finances is personal, and sometimes people don't want to talk about it even. So let's look at why is this personal, why are our finances really considered personal? Personal finance is about how an individual manages their money. It's about the movement of money in and out of our pockets or in and out of our bank accounts. And this movement of money and what is done with the money differs from person to person. There is no one size fits all, and that is because we are all different and we do deal with our finances in different ways based on a variety of things. Our money goals, our needs, our wants, and our aspirations are different from person to person. So is our age, so is our level of income, among other things. Also, our income and our money in general keeps changing as our lives are changing. So it does not remain the same. Based on that, we cannot treat our money or different people's money the same. And we cannot necessarily compare our finances with others because there are so many factors that are involved when it comes to our money, both in our earning, both in our managing what we earn and growing what we have earned. So there are many different factors that affect that, and it's different from person to person. Like I said earlier, it's not a one size fits all. It's not the same for everybody. That is why what works for one person today is not what will work for them tomorrow. And what worked for you last year is not what will work for you 5 years from now. So it keeps changing as time goes, as circumstances are changing, as our income are changing, as we grow and learn better, and many more. And this is one of the reasons why when we are listening to money podcasts or we are reading money books, we really need to filter the information that we are reading. And we need to understand where am I currently and whether that information is useful for me at the moment. It might not be useful for you at that time you are reading the book. Maybe only some of the information is useful. So you filter out and only make use of what you need at the time. And as you are going through your life, you can always come back to the book and apply other things that you have learned from the book that are now working or that are fitting at the place where you are as you are growing. When it comes to our personal finances, we are all different because of the following areas that I'll go through quickly. The first one being our income. An income of somebody who earns minimum wage. For example, if they are only earning 2,000 Namibian dollars compared to somebody who is earning, let me say, 30,000 Namibian dollars. How these people handle their money will differ. The person who has the 30,000 salary has a bit more runway and they are able to do more with what they have compared to the person who is earning the 2,000 Namibian dollars. Because now the person with the 2,000 Namibian dollars might not be able to cover their basic needs to start with. And they still have wants, and they might need to go into debt or to take on debt or to borrow from people just for them to cover their basic needs. Also, how they deal with debt or how they pay back will be a little bit more difficult. The amount of money they are dealing with is quite little, compared to a person now who has the $30,000 salary. Of course, other factors comes in, but when it comes to income levels, the person earning more has a bit more possibility to do what they need and what they want compared to the one who is earning much less. And the second one is actually our expenses differ. Our expenses differ. There are people who only need to worry about themselves, their own basic needs, their own wants, and their own growth and other things. But you find others who need to worry about themselves, and they also need to worry about their family. For example, if you are the first graduate in your family, or you are the only graduate in your family, now this family and the siblings that are coming after you, they require also assistance, financial assistance, and because of that, your expenses will be more because you have to cater for your family members compared to somebody who only needs to cater for themselves. So sometimes you are earning the same salary with someone, but your expenses are much higher because of your life circumstances compared to the other person. The third thing is our personal finances are also different based on our money beliefs. There are people who believe money is bad and money is evil, and because of those beliefs, they don't treat money the way they are supposed to treat it, as a tool to use in their lives to make sure that their lives are better and that their lives are comfortable. So those kind of people, they might hoard the money and just put it under a mattress or leave it in the bank account without actually enjoying the fruits of that money. While on the other hand, you might find people who believe that money is there to be spent. You know, when money comes in immediately, you must find different things for you to do with that money. Now, those type of people, regardless of how much they earn, they will spend recklessly. They will spend as much as they can, or sometimes all of the money, because their belief is that tomorrow will sort itself out and they only live for today. Our backgrounds are also different. And when it comes to our backgrounds, people who had the privilege, and I say privilege because it's not a lot of households where people speak about money. So there are people who had the privilege of having money being talked about in their households. They learned about money from home, and it was good habits about money. Those people have the potential to actually handle their money better because it's something they have learned while they are young on how to manage money, and they build on that as they are growing. However, people who are coming from backgrounds where everything was hard and everything came by so hard, and they were not, as a family, they were not making it through the month, and the months were always, they were always running out of the basics, and sometimes debt has to be taken to cover here, you owe the neighbor and the uncle at the other side and all of this. So how, as an adult now later on in life, how you manage your money, it's also influenced or affected by this background, the background that you are coming from. If you had a stable educational background where you were able to observe good financial habits and you were able to absorb good financial education at home or in your community, you actually end up being better off compared to those who came from an opposite background. Our life circumstances are also different, and that is also one of the things that makes our personal finance really personal, and one must look at it case by case or person by person. Because when you look at a person who is a student, then you have another person who is a casual worker. Then you have another person who's an entry-level employee. Then you have another person who is at, let's say, middle management level. Those people are at different areas of their life, and the way they see money, how much they are able to earn, and how much how they handle the money, it will be different. When you are a student, your focus area is you get a stipend or you get a monthly allowance, and that is what you are dealing with. But then the person who is a casual worker, they have a bit of their own money, even though it might still not be sufficient, but at least they are earning for themselves and they are able to do a few things. And then you find out the people who have the full-time, well-paying jobs that are actually in a better financial position, and they are able to manage their money or do much more with their money compared to the others. Our personal finances are also different, or are personal because of our age, when you are in your early 20s compared to when you are in your 30s and 40s, you will have different income levels. You would have learned more about money through life. So a person who is in their 40s, for example, will have much more money skills or money background. They would have learned more about their money as they went through life compared to a 20-year-old who is just starting out and they have to learn everything. And mind you, remember, finances are not taught in our schools. And because they are not taught in our schools, it's very difficult for the person who is coming out of school and starting out to really know what to do with the money. Sometimes they look at this big amount, maybe it's the first time they are getting this $20,000 check, and they don't even know where to touch, And that is also the reason why a lot of young professionals fall prey to some of these insurance brokers and cash loan people and all these people that are always trying to get something out of them, because they really don't know what should I have in place and where do I go for this, and people just expect people out of nowhere to know these things, and it doesn't work like that. Our personal finances also differ because of the stage we are in our lives. When you are young, in your early 20s, you are just figuring out life, compared to someone who is working and they have a child, compared to somebody who is married with 2 children and a husband and an extended family. The needs and the wants of these 3 different people are different because of where they are. When you are young, you don't have children, you are not looking after your parents, your main thing is to look after yourself. But when you compare to somebody now who is also young and they have a child, then the financial burden goes up. And I'm not saying children are a burden, but I'm saying like the things that they need to spend money on goes up. And then when you compare again to somebody who has a home with a husband, with 2 children, sometimes, it's not always that people will have a dual income household. Sometimes it's one person who is providing for that family of 4. Then again, the needs of that household and the wants of that household are much higher compared to the others. And then we come to lifestyle. Our lifestyles are different. Even if we make the same salary, let's say for example, it's 3 people, they are all earning $15,000. There are people who live lavishly. They have appointments to do their nails, they have appointments to do their lashes, there must be a facial thrown in there, a massage here, a breakfast appointment there. They have so many things going on with that money. But then another person earning the same might only say, okay, for me, as long as I pass at KFC, I get my KFC on a Friday to go chill at home, I'm cool. And then you have another person whose needs or whose wants are also different. So somebody on that 15,000 salary might be able to save half of it, while another person might be able to save maybe 30% of it. And then another person is not able to save anything of it because of their lifestyle. They are always chilling, they must go to these certain places where things are happening and money is spent. So it will be different based on our lifestyles. And when it comes to lifestyle, it's also about prioritizing the parts of your life that you are not willing to negotiate on. The things that you say, this is, priority for me. We cannot just look at other people and say, oh no, I can also do that, I also earn the same. No, you need to prioritize, decide what are the things that are important to you, and you focus on those. The key takeaway for me from this discussion is that we must not compare ourselves to others when it comes to money. That is number 1. And number 2, we must not copy and paste what we see when it comes to other people's finances. We really do not have the background information into that person's lifestyle and into their finances. We might be taking on things that we are not able to manage ourselves. Especially when you look at young people, you see that, okay, this person is my age, our income levels are not so far from each other, but somehow they are renting a very expensive apartment, or they are staying in a beautiful home, they are having this type of a car, they are this, they are that, but you do not know where those things are coming from. You do not have information that is enough to tell you that all these things are being funded from that person's income. You also do not know what other income streams does this person have apart from the job. So it's not easy to make those kinds of judgments. So you observe the good habits that you pick up, you can implement, but really comparison is the thief of joy, and we never have enough information about the reality of what is happening in other people's lives. And when it comes to personal finances, some people are starting from zero, other people are starting from a cushion that their family has provided them. And once we understand that, at whatever age, at whatever level, it will make it much easier for us to really not look around so much when it comes to our finances. There are people who come from families, once they graduate, there's an apartment waiting for them. There are people who start working, there's a car provided for them, or half of the money of that car is paid by the family or by whoever. While you, in fact, have family members at home that are waiting for you, who are like, listen, send the money. So there are people really that are starting from a lifestyle that was built before them, and they are not starting at the same level as others. While others are starting from scratch, and they might be the first person in their family to actually start building wealth. And this also tells you that we never know the full picture, like I said earlier, of the situation with other people's money. And because of that, we need to make our own research when it comes to money and how to manage money. We must make our own decisions, looking at our situations and financial standing, looking at where we are and where we want to go. Otherwise, really just looking at other people's finances and wanting to make decisions when it comes to ours, it's really a misleading way of doing things. So it's okay to admire, it's okay to observe, but look at where we are, look at where you want to go, and then you build a plan to get there. If you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video.